business. Let's make some progress today, shall we? So, for those who don't know what's going on here, this is part of the DragonPelago setup for the Dragon Council by Argo Koth. We started working on this yesterday. Couldn't make a ton of progress because, well, honestly, our results were not great in terms of what we got. But you just saw it happen right there. We have access to both our normal bombs and our power bombs. We have screw attack, and we're just in business now. We have 5 more infant Metroids than we need, so I should avoid going up into the area where the SAX gets triggered because I cannot currently handle that. But for anybody that doesn't understand how Archipelago works or how any of this is set up, I will quickly run all down for y'all so you get an idea of what we're getting into here. So personally, I have 3 games connected here. But how Archipelago itself works is you take any game that's compatible with Archipelago, you send that to a server, and all of the games that are connected to that single Archipelago server have all of the items in them put in a blender, mixed around. They're now just in this whole slurry in a jar here. You take that jar, you just chuck it over the next hill, and then you go find the pieces. Because all your stuff is now scattered through your game, the other person's game, everybody's games. It could be anywhere. My power bombs were, for example, I think they were in one of Mori's games. I think it was Mario Land 2, I think is where my power bombs were. Reminds me, let me pop up one of my tracker things as well so I can see the checks they're getting sent around somewhat. There we go. This way I can keep an eye out for items that go to my other games. Yeah, my 3 games are Metroid Fusion, which you see on screen right now, Castlevania Circle of the Moon, which is probably not going to be seen today because it didn't gain anything meaningful overnight, and Time Spinner. Time Spinner got something big, so we're going to be going to that after we're done here with Fusion. But having power bombs, screw attack, and high jump, we can do a fair bit. So let's see about getting that done so we can hand out whatever we have in our world to those who are going to need it. Our big holdback here in Fusion is going to still be a lack of keycards. What I want to check first, though, is whether we can make this jump up here. Because I think with high jump I can cross this gap. Nope, sure can't hit the ceiling. Okay. Oh, that was a mistake to try then. But since there are things I'm going to be able to do back here, that's why I was willing to go for that. And find out how well that worked. My power bomb numbers up there, by the way, are going to be janky. There's something I've noticed with Fusion, and that is a lot of the numbers get kind of weird. We're not going to be going down into there because we won't be able to get out. Going down into there means going into the reactor core. And not only will we almost certainly die down there, because the enemies down there are very powerful, we can't really make any meaningful progress down there, more than likely. I can grab this, though. Whatever this Archipelago item is. Opera and Ballet for Evie the Great. And we can scoot on down this tunnel here. We still don't have any missiles, is one unfortunate thing. But Screw Attack will do most of the things missiles would do for us outside of specific missile blocks. Thankfully, we have de facto Spring Ball in this, so we can make that work. Oh, great. A job well done for Astral. But hopefully these items that are happening will help you understand how Archipelago works a little bit. Because I'm sending items out to other people's games as we pick up what would ordinarily be items for us. In that particular case, that was the item for Power Wash Sim. Apparently, it's their required item for finishing their seed, so it will be a good thing to be handing around, just not necessarily immediately useful to anyone. There's not a recharge room nearby. Well, there's one up there. It's just going to take a minute to get to. As you may notice, our health got shredded in there, because we currently have no suits. Without any suits, we are very, very vulnerable. Oh, there's not even an item in here. So when I was trying to finagle my way in here yesterday, it was pointless. Love that for me. Yeah, point to note, I can just break those guys. He was closer than the recharge room, so I figured I'd just go hit him, because he gives a guaranteed red X, which is basically full health for us right now. We can actually, I think, kill the boss over here now, so we can actually get that check that he's got. Which we got a hint, I believe, for that one, which proved that that was not going to be useful. But just for sake of getting that out of the way, we may as well. We could, actually, why am I going this way? We can actually go the proper way around and get the other checks, which is going to be way more important. Is that'll be 4 checks as opposed to 1 check. Now, for those that weren't here yesterday, the main thing holding us back over here was this little bastard right here. We can melt him now with Screw Attack. Ordinarily, you just need missiles and you get through him no problem. We could also have power bombed him or done any number of awful things to him at this point to get past him. But we can pop into here, grab a couple things. Wash coin for power wash. This is the pathway I was showing y'all before, by the way. In here. Which there's no checks up there, so there's no reason for me to go backwards up this tube. There's a check right here, though. Sync for Evie the Glaceon, which is Pokemon Black and White. Yeah, this is the eyeball that Argo was talking about yesterday. I'm gonna try to, like, power bomb the stupid thing. Oh, no, I don't think that works. This might not be doable, actually, right now. Yeah, because as Argo said, you can't actually hit those with that. So yeah, I think actually we still can't go in there then. Never mind. I really thought power bombs would work on that thing, but it auto-closed the eye when the power bomb went off. So I think we're actually still hooped on that one. So never mind, no free 4 checks for us. We did get 1, which is better than nothing. But it's okay. I've got lots of plans for the moves we have. Because this game includes a lot of backdoors to various sectors. Part of our plan for today is going to be trying to utilize some of those to get to places I don't have keycards for. Because I suspect, based on how the seat's been playing out, that they expect me to do that. Within my progression. Now, whether I'm correct about that or not, that's a good question. But that's all going to be involving Sector 2 for the most part. Sector 2 will theoretically lead us to victory here today. Because before I fell down in that hole and got stuck, you may have seen that little Screw Attack path. That's one of the things we're going to be going and having a look at today. To see if that'll lead us anywhere good. Because I know this goes places, I just don't remember if it goes anywhere that'll benefit us right now. Sector 4 Aqua. We don't have Gravity Suit, but we do have High Jump, which, yeah, no, I can't wall jump underwater, so that doesn't work. That side path's not going to help at the moment. That's okay. We have bombs now, so we can actually do some much more normal pathing as well. Because I believe we can get... We can't get to that data room, but I think we can get to the back door to Sector 1. Now, you might be wondering, why do you need to back door into Sector 1? Well, because of the missile issue, I think we still can't actually get into Sector 1 normally. We can kill the obstacle, but I think we get locked into the rooms because of the fact that we won't be able to fix the atmospheric things quite yet. Map SW. I think that's a map for Link to the Past. Because Mori's playing SMZ3. I just don't remember what SW stands for. I would assume it's a dungeon map of some kind. I just don't know what dungeon is SW off the top of my head, because I don't really do Link to the Past that much, if at all. Yeah, these guys are also a good source of healing X's if you need them. Based on the dead ends I'm running into because of things I forgot, we may actually not be getting as far as I thought today. But we'll make the progress we can, and I do have a backup in mind for today, specifically. Another Geo Rock default for Dyla. We can drop down into this section of Sector 2 over here, finally. Because this, I believe, is ordinarily meant to get you through the majority of this sector without needing any clearances or anything, because this is one of the earliest places you go. So we should be able to do a solid amount in here. This will make an extension upward. I'm so used to doing a lot of these things without bombs, because my seeds would just never give me regular bombs. Purple rupee for Argo. Which Argo is still currently live doing their part as well, so you should make sure to go follow Argo. And I believe being Astral Hammer, has started up for the day as well. Make sure to support all of the dragons. Do it. Do the thing. Okay, we just gotta crawl our way through all this nonsense. Let's see where this leads us. Because I don't think you have to do the SAX segments in Archipelago, or even in the Rando. So we shouldn't have to worry about that. Because that would be something that would get me killed right now. Not that we would get stuck, but I have 0 options for if I make a mistake, because I have very little health. So we would just get shredded. Let's go down into here first. In fact, save myself some time. Another job well done. One of the first things I see come out of Power Wash is an ice trap for Amalia. Which, for those that don't know why that's amusing, Amalia is one of the people playing OOT in the group, and has gotten an absurd amount of ice traps. Like, there's like 6 people playing OOT, more or less, in this lineup. And there's been more ice traps for Amalia than some people have gotten checks, almost, at this point. That should tell you just how bad the ice traps there have been. It is absurdities. I want to go that way first. This way's the save point, so yeah, if I screw up, it would be a good idea to go this way first. Which, you may have noticed I've come very close to dying a couple times already, so... a little bit of safety never hurt anybody. Yeah, this is one of the places the SX would be chasing you through normally. Because you'd go hide up here from it. In fact, we can't actually go anywhere because you can only drop down through here, I forgot. Fine. Thanks to high jump, this area is trivial. Is there even any checks in there? There's more checks behind us, so let's go that way first. Thanks to high jump, we can just bypass the water in here entirely. Which is good, because we don't have gravity yet. The amount of job well done's going out is absurd. Fun fact, since I can see the tracker and y'all can't, right after I sent one, Argo also sent one. We can't actually get that check right now. We need gravity suit or something else to get that. Unless... oh, actually, no, there's a jump spot here. I forgot, this is designed for you not to have gravity yet. That didn't count, huh? That one should count. Of course, I would have said the same about the other one, too, but, you know, what do I know? Lifeblood Cocoon for Hollow Knight. I don't actually know what those do, because I don't know Hollow Knight that well. But it sounds useful. Yeah, it's just worth remembering that water affects Samus very, very strongly. Like, almost to a ridiculous degree. Until we get the gravity suit, which... I'll be real with y'all, we might not even see the gravity suit in this playthrough. Based on what my gut's telling me about how this is gonna go, I have a sneaking suspicion I ain't seeing my gravity suit. Like, I'll be happy enough to get my Varia suit. Because that at least I think will protect us from being frozen by SAX. Right, this room. Well, we can go get the lower item here. Getting the upper item in here is going to be a big pain in the ass at the moment. So we're not going to worry about doing... Right, you can't get the lower item without getting the higher item for this one. Never mind. We can't do this room at all right now. Because what you need to be able to do is freeze these guys with ice missiles. And we don't even have regular missiles, let alone ice missiles right now. So that's just dead. I'll need to leave myself a mental note to go back there at some future point when I have ice missiles. Or space jump. You can kind of finagle it with space jump. Since we have screw attack, I'll be able to just break through everything and get it. Technically, I think I can do it now with screw attack, but it's a huge pain and I don't feel like dealing with it. Because what you'd have to do is precisely land on some of those breakable blocks without being in screw attack mode, then screw attack up through the other blocks and do that whole thing. And unless somebody tells me they need that check, I ain't gonna worry about it early. Here than I have to. Okay, that loops us back to here, which we don't want to be here yet. We can go to the right up there soon, because we have power bombs. We can actually go in there. But I want to go get this area on the right first. Because there's checks in here as well. And it leads back to where that room is anyway. So it covers all of those bases either way. And that's just one of those things where it'll sort itself out just fine. But it's kind of helpful to do your order of operations in this area properly. Because if you do them out of order, this place can be more of a nightmare than it needs to be. Oh, right. I can't actually go through there that way, so I do have to go the other way. Remember what I just said about order of operations? Guess who already forgot his own order of operations? I'll give you a hint, it's the guy who's now having to do this wall jump again. Because he keeps screwing it up. I don't know why I'm having trouble with the second wall jump here. It's not a difficult wall jump in the slightest. Because literally all wall jumping in this game is just press left and jump when you contact wall while spinning. That's the basic idea there. There's a little bit of frame timing to it, but it's pretty generous. Like, that is something vanilla players figure out just fine. There we go. Up and in we go. Ordinarily, this bit would be later on because it wouldn't be till after the bugs start hatching, which happens fairly far along. Like, that's at the point where you're gonna have to go deal with the reactor. That you'd be dealing with those bugs walking around. Clean these guys out so they don't get in the way when I'm going through the tunnel here. There's a check right here. Another job well done. I think I've already sent like 4 job well dones today. Because basically every check has been a job well done for Power Wash. But you know, I'm all for praising people, but boy oh boy, I would like to find something. Yeah, these flying bugs, by the way, are why we didn't go to the reactor, because they hit really hard, and we are not durable enough to be fighting a lot of those. They're fine to deal with here in these tunnels, because they at least can't get a height advantage enough on me to be a problem. In the reactor, they spend most of their time above you, and they'll just drop down and sting you, drop down and sting you. Because as you can see, other than screw attack, we don't do enough damage to kill them before they can hit me. And you screw attack through these blocks because there's bugs hiding in them. It's a real cheeky trick. We can't go through that right now for the same reason we couldn't go through the other one. Yeah, like, screw attack in here is, like, our only defense, particularly. Can I even fight that boss right now? I don't think I can. I think I need charge or missile to really do anything effective against him. I might be able to powerbomb him to death, but I feel like that's not worth doing right now. And honestly, I don't think the bosses themselves are actually checks at all. I don't think they're of any use to me. Oh, because of the stage of things this is at, I also can't go down there. I have to go through the other way around. Because these routes are all active until we kill that boss. So unless I can kill him, which I'm doubting right now, we can't continue in here right now. I mean, I can give it a shot, because literally we saved right here, so worst case I die and I go like 5 feet. Oh, then again, I can't go in the proper way, and... Ooh. Actually, that does put a wrinkle on my thought here. I don't know if we can go into the boss room the back way. Because over here is supposed to be how you exit that boss room, not enter it. It theoretically might be doable anyway? Yeah, no, it's locked. Okay, then yeah, we can't go in there right now. We can't beat the eyeball, so we can't actually get in there. That's a problem. We can still do the thing I was pointing out on main deck where I can back way into that boss fight right now, because we can kill him. I'm pretty confident. Oh, actually, I did want to still be up there, because we can get that check. I just needed to have wall jumped off of there on the way down. So I've got two options. I either go all the way back... Wait, no, I do want to go back there. There's a reason to go back there. I just had a realization. I'll explain when we get there. I don't know if this is gonna be big, but this will be something. Which, this is my favorite part about randomizers and such, by the way, is these moments of dawning realization of like, wait, this does work. Or, wait, I can do it that way, and it will work. For some silly reason, that works. As y'all have probably figured out by now, I love finding unique solutions to problems. And that's what randomizers are kind of built on, is finding unique solutions to complicated problems. Explode. A whole lot of you. Explode. Power bombs are also really handy because they draw all the X in the area to it. So it's good for keeping them from escaping and going and setting off a bunch of other problems. Since they can and will join with other X around the map and do annoying things like turning into other creatures. Now, this is going to be a bit of a nuisance. Got it. Because you have to curve that jump properly. Oh, wait, no, this doesn't go where I thought it went. Never mind, this isn't as big as I thought. Well, that's depressing. Because, see, I thought for some reason that there was a hole around here that would have led to that area we couldn't jump high enough to get to. But unfortunately, no dice. You need space jump to get up there, I think, because I don't think there's any, like, platforms around here anywhere. Because the randomizer's good about showing you where those are, because I believe those arrows are normally not there, where those little raising platforms are, but they are here in the randomizer. For people like me that forget. So that means that's dead in the water. We can't get into Sector 1 through the back end. Which means Fusion's actually less free than I thought. Because I really thought I had something that would deal with those eyeballs, and I don't. We still sent off some checks, just not anything huge. I may as well warp out of here. We saved where all of our progression here is. This is literally just saving time. We can risk going into the reactor. I'm not going to yet. I'm gonna go do the backdooring for the other boss over here first. Because as you saw, those flyers will, like, 2 or 3 hit kill us. And that's not great. That causes a lot of upsetting. Let me just look at this map some more. Yeah, because we got those 2 checks. Those 2 on the top right are going to be the issue. Because I think we still can't get those. Just to be quite honest with you. But we can at least try to get the check that's off this boss. So I'm pretty sure it was just another job well done or something like that. Because this was one of the things that got hinted, I do believe. Oh, wait, I can go up through here, though. Hold on. Hold on. I can get those checks. I completely forgot that screw attack space existed because I've never needed it. Oh, but I need missiles to get that one, though, because you can't break missile blocks with screw attack. And I'm pretty sure power bombs don't break missile blocks either. Yeah, it's missile only. So that top rightmost check I can't get. Everything else I can do. Come on. Transform! Perish. Oh no, screw attack doesn't work on that. Do power bombs work on you? No, I still can't kill this thing. Well, that's infuriating. Oh, I didn't realize this thing could follow you out of there, too. That's hilarious, actually. I can just make this guy chase me all over the place. This is funny. He's gonna get me. Oh, no. We can just have this thing chase me around like a damn Phanto. Oh, okay, it stops after it leaves the room. What happens now? Did I break it? I'm genuinely curious. What happens now? Okay, he just reforms. Okay, that's fine. We'll deal with him later then. That's actually incredible. The fact that the code for that is robust enough to survive us doing something like that is actually shocking. I really thought he would have just been in a forever glitch state because of that, and I was genuinely worried I was gonna have to make sure not to save and, like, reset the ROM. So, you know what, for safety, let's go ahead and warp. So I'm pretty sure that's treated as having loaded your save in all practical terms. So that should be safe. Just in case. I don't need to confirm my mission objectives. We're fine. Well, relatively speaking, we're fine. I guess my only other course is to go into Reactor. If for nothing else, we can backdoor into Sector 2 through Reactor. So I'm pretty confident most of the checks we could get in the rest of the Reactor aren't going to be doable right now. I'm not even sure we can get any checks in Reactor, realistically. But we can at least go take a look. Yeah, because this red door here is one of the ways you would ordinarily get down into here, I'm pretty sure. Actually... yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. So I wanted to check to see if there was a security room down in here, is why I was questioning things. The other thing is, I'm not sure why you would come back in here. I don't remember the order of operations there enough to remember why you would want to come through the red door. Because you have to power bomb into here to deal with the reactor being infested. I seem to recall. Oh, wait. That might not be doable. I forgot how much of a pain getting up there was. This is the last time I got into here outside of normal activity without space jump was freezing these guys. I forgot all about that. So that's not viable. We can go into here, but I won't be able to fight the boss, I don't think. We can grab this nav room hint. Ooh. Well, that's important to keep in mind. And that was a recovery heart for winter. Auxiliary power is nice and all, but it doesn't help us. Might as well show this fight off, as we're just gonna die anyway. This guy is a problem on a good day. But because he grabs you, I'm pretty sure I literally can't hurt him. Oh yeah, no, he just killed me straight up. Never mind. So yeah, his whole shtick is he'll bounce around and then open his mouth. You can hit him when his mouth's open. But I'm pretty sure it's only missiles and charge beam for him, too. Like, this game's pretty locked up tight as far as killing the bosses goes, unfortunately. A lot of them resist most things, which is kind of annoying. I didn't realize they resist power bombs because I've never tried. So that complicates our life right now, fairly significantly. We lost our checks over there because of warping away, but that's fine. That's to remind me that I need to go up there. Otherwise, I will forget. Can't go through the yellow door. Pretty confident I can't do anything in Sector 1, but we can try to break the atmospheric things with Screw Attack or power bombs or any number of things just to see if any of that works. So I'm pretty sure nothing I have will work on those, but if I can get in there, that opens up a lot. So it can't hurt to try. If that goes nowhere, then we'll hop over to Time Spinner, do what we can there, based on the fact that I have some fairly useful progression things in Time Spinner. And then we will probably go to the bonus game. Because I've got one Lurkit game that I tested and quite enjoyed that I would love to show off to all of y'all while we wait for things to happen with the Archipelago. Because it's honestly, like, perfect for idling in a situation like this. So you can look forward to that in a little bit. It would be very funny if it was actually possible for me to just defeat the SAX right now. But I don't think Screw Attack hurts the SAX, just like it doesn't work on a lot of other things. Because they have, like, defenses against it. Yeah, right, our first problem was getting past this guy to begin with. We don't even know if we could deal with anything else. Oh yeah, I can break those. We're in business then, actually. You know, duh, I should have known, actually, because Argo had done a couple checks in here that I saw on the tracker, and he didn't have missiles either. Blood shield for supplicants? I don't actually know what that is. That one doesn't sound familiar to me. Yeah, if we can do this, then we can probably do basically all of Sector 1, actually. Which will open up a fair bit. These atmospheric stabilizers lock the doors in the areas they're in. So the issue would have been we would have immediately gotten locked into these rooms the second we tried to do anything. And since there's one of those blocking the entry to the sector, we wouldn't have been able to do anything. That's why I was trying to back way into Sector 1 here. We can get some of this stuff. It'll be dangerous to get the second one, but technically we could get it. Because the second one is across the lava over there. So I think I'm going to leave it alone for now, unless somebody hints out that they need it. You know, with the one that's underneath here. Because I'm pretty sure it's reachable, but with the amount of health we have, we would melt very quickly. Like, I would have to get there pretty precisely for that to work. More importantly than getting those checks, we can actually get around most of this sector. I'm pretty sure we can even get into that left-hand area over there. Assuming I'm remembering the lay of the land here correctly. Which, with how my memory can be, that's a dangerous assumption. This is also an unusual set of circumstances in general. So trying to remember the exact pathing the game would normally have wouldn't help you anyway. Because it would only be beneficial if you were under normal circumstances. Let's go ahead and break this, do the stuff we can do over here on the right, and then we'll drop down. Because if I drop down now, we ain't coming back anytime quick, so this is the better path. Hey, this one's gonna be a little bit of a nuisance. Got a wall jump for it. Not too big a deal, though, as you can see. And once the air clears, we can go over here and get the check that's in here. Extra life for Sonic Adventure 1. It actually took me a second. I'm like, what games is anybody playing that need extra lives? Yeah, take it slow, because these pirates do a lot of damage. And we have nothing to deal with them with, because they're another thing that needs either missile or charge to hurt, other than power bombs. Thankfully, we have lots of power bombs. We would have been able to open this door from the other side if we were able to get up here or any other way. Which I think technically we actually could have gotten here from the other side. That's going to be a problem, so we can't do the boss fight, because we can't get through that. Means actually I'm going to have to warp out of here. And it's looking like we can't get this check yet either, because I need speed booster. Because this is one of the rooms that teaches you about shine sparking. Which, for those that aren't up on the lingo, shine sparking is when you use speed booster, you crouch to hold the charge, and then you dash in a direction using the built-up charge. It lets you do vertical launches like this pretty easily. But we'll also need gravity suit in order to be able to do that too. Thankfully we can save, so at least the map progress is kept. But I'm gonna need to run all the way back over here again in order to go into that lower section. Mildly annoying. But we are locked in here because I dropped down thinking I could get that check, so... There goes another ice trap for Amalia. I've been keeping my eye open, and I really can't say I've seen anything for us, like, at all happening again, by the way. Is something I've noticed with Archipelago is it loves to link a couple people together more than others. And I'm pretty sure the people I'm linked with have not done anything yet today, because they're usually on later on. Because there's a lot of back and forth between specific games happening. Like Argo's Ship of Harkinian sends a lot of things to one of Astral's Time Spinner games, for example. And I send a lot of things to Winter, or either in Ship of Harkinian or StarCraft 2. I keep wanting to say Star Control 2. It's got Star Control on the brain again. But that's neither here nor there. And obviously, it's not always going to have you sending checks to those specific people. That just seems to be a predilection it has, though, is it ends up sending, like, more checks for a couple specific worlds than others. And each game will have its own world that it sends more to than others. Something just in the way the randomizer logic goes seems to generate a preference internal to it. Hey, we can go over this way too, further down. Didn't even think about this. Because behind this save point there's another check. Because you can wall jump up here to this, which is just a dust bunny for power wash. Yeah, this room, by the way, is also literally titled wall jump tutorial, because that's one of the rooms that teaches you how to wall jump by expecting you to do it. It's either that or you come back there with space jump. Those are the only ways you're getting up there. Which I think when I played this the first time, I actually did wait for space jump. There we go, that's all the atmospheric ticket levels adjusted back to normal. Which I think this is gonna spit me out in front of the boss door again, based on how this looks, but I think we can get these checks that are up here without getting spat into there. Nope, need missiles for that, never mind. Still no missiles. No maidens, no missiles, no hope. Can't even open that door from up here. Yeah, this is the hallway I want. Go back across here, then we'll go down that hole and hope that something good happens. Because if nothing good comes of that, then we are definitely just done for fusion for the time being. Gotta say, it is slightly feels bad scenario with this right now, because I feel like I'm not contributing much. Because so many of my checks have ended up just being those power wash job well done's. Now, don't you mind it much, because that's actually still useful. Oh yeah, that acid kills you fast. We're not gonna be able to do that right now. I forgot that that's the... that area is kind of funny, actually. Is what that is that's a recreation of the area where the brain is, and since this area is meant to be a recreation of the planet from Super Metroid. So, yeah, that's a whole issue down there. And as it stands, without ice, or suits to protect myself from the acid, which I don't think you get complete protection from the acid even with full suits. We ain't gonna be able to get down in there. Like, I would need 4 or 5 more energy tanks to tank that, probably. And I ain't got that, so that's not really a thing. Look at all those missiles I have, by the way. The second we get missile data, we are in business. Like, we will be able to just fire all the missiles I'll ever need for most situations. Just taking a moment to think one more time. Is there anything I can pull out of my ass here? The answer is I don't think so. The second we get even, like, level 1 access, though, we're gonna be able to do a lot. There's a catch, though. There's a catch to the security access. And that is, if I get, say, the level 4 card, it'll only open level 4 doors, unless that setting got reverted and I forgot. Because I decoupled those in my settings. Because I'm a fool. And I made these settings nasty. Because it would be fun. But I'm pretty sure I am SOL on that one. So let's go ahead and hop to Time Spinner and get what we can done there. Because we should be able to last in there for like an hour or so as well. Now, my intention is to just... If we do end up going to the Lurk It game, we'll probably end on the Lurk It game. Because I don't really want to have to do the editing that will be required to fix the 2 parts of the archipelago part together. I didn't even flip up this back to Time Spinner. That's how convinced I was that Metroid was gonna go well. Boy, was I a fool, huh? Just out here thinking things were gonna go great. Now, it is worth noting that we did get sent a couple traps. Like, we have a neurotoxin trap. I think that's actually the only trap we got. The important thing we got, though, is this time-worn warp beacon that's attuned to the castle ramparts. What this does is this allows us to warp to the past. That's going to be the important thing for us. And apparently that neurotoxin trap's not working, because I should have been neurotoxined. Not that I'm complaining. But see, we have access to the castle ramparts in the past now. Because I separated all of those warps, because I'm a fool. Good news is, we're now able to go a lot more places. Because with access to the past, I can actually go run all the way to where those burnable things are and go burn them. Which will help immensely towards getting things done. Nice. Extra luck. That's actually going to be fairly useful. There's something I didn't address last time that I'll go ahead and address now. All of the drops are randomized from all of the enemies. They're not too out there, based on what I'm seeing here. But they're a little weird. Like a bunch of enemies dropping Siren Ink, for example. And of course the drop rates are also randomized. So that's a whole thing. Ooh, Psychic for Pokemon. That's a good move. That'll be handy. Because that's just a flat, solid psychic move. Now, check density would have been higher in the castle itself if I'd stayed there, because there's a lot of checks in the castle. Castle also takes a bit more work to get through, though. So I'm gonna run back, get the easier stuff first, and we can just warp back to the castle after we go set things up back here, or in the earlier parts. Actually, isn't there something up there? I think there is something up there. It'll be easy enough to check anyway. Yep, there's two things up here. Contract to Cuphead, bombs for Amalia, an OT. Oh yeah, based on what that area is called, I assume you're intended to like freeze time and jump from bat to bat to get there. The bats that are definitely not there in our current reality. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff we can get down in here. It's part of why I'm down here. And it's an easy place to get to. Did I get any other attacking orbs? I have the wind orb. It's definitely weaker, but I forget. Isn't the wind orb ranged? No, progressive Arcarina for Argo. Very good. It does have a little bit more reach, but yeah, it does no damage. Because I have a setting on that buffs or debuffs orbs depending on how good the community / the mod maker thought those orbs are. And a lot of orbs got nerfed. A lot of orbs got nerfed into the ground. Especially a lot of the ranged orbs. Obviously, you'll notice that the Radiant Orb didn't get debuffed or buffed at all. Can't imagine why on that one. Now, I could make my life a little bit easier by using an actual attacking spell, but I don't want to have to keep switching back to the... Okay, we got a Minish Cap Dungeon Compass. That's vaguely useful. Things spawned as sirens that cannot float on water, so they're a non-issue. This cave would ordinarily be full of those fish people we were dealing with earlier. And we can trigger this event, which is the other reason we came in here, because it triggers an event that takes us to the camp here. Which is going to mess with some other events in the game a little bit. Because of timing, I think, but it gets us here, which gets us a warp here, which helps make a lot of our pathing easier. Because we can get around a lot faster this way. Yeah, see, there we go. There's the event where they talk to us triggering. We actually have a quest item for them, which was a super potion for Pokemon. Actually, no. The initial talk to them event was the super potion. Now, we complete lost tools, and we actually got an essence crystal. Okay. Yeah, because the whole thing here is they make your orbs, necklaces, and rings better using those resources you see down there. And they can also make whole new ones, but we don't have any options for that right yet. Now, because of the order that these events are going to be happening in, there's going to be some events that are going to act a little weird. Like, when I was testing this, there was a scene that played every time I walked back through a certain room. Full healed Pokemon, Ice Trap for Amalia, Homing Ammo for Donkey Kong. This is a really annoying place for that to have spawned. Go back in your book where you belong. Items for Stardew. These are the sirens that ordinarily would have been in that cave. And they're dead now. I'm gonna have to climb my way up and out of this hole. I don't think there's anything else down here. I need to be attentive for every single chest and everything, because any of them could be a check that's useful to someone. We should be able to do a solid amount over on this side here, including snagging whatever this is. Water for power wash. Hooray! In fact, the event I was talking about that keeps triggering should be coming up soon. I'm pretty sure it's over in this area somewhere. There's a warp point. Yeah, in fact, I think it's right on the other side of this lake. More Siren Ink. Which Siren Ink is required for one of the side quests in this area. Okay, you being on the ceiling there is actually an issue. Curse him for spawning in a place that's actually useful for him to be. But just heal up a little bit. This is gonna be a boss fight. Oh no, it's this thing. This is the exact event I was talking about. This event will just keep happening every time I come into this room. So now they go back to the camp, but if I leave the room and come back... Oh no, it's actually working properly this time. Of course, I say something like that, and now the universe proves me wrong. So I was able to just keep causing them to get jumped by that chicken over and over again when I was testing this. But yeah, these vines right here, these are the things I need to burn to make them not be there in the future. Okay, good. Infernal Flames does count. You just can't burn them in the future. That's what I thought. You know, ignoring the logic of something being burnable either way. I stand by the assumption that they just, like, petrify over time, but somehow are durable enough that you can't just snap them out of the way. Don't worry about it. Don't think too hard about it. It's a video game. Dust Banui. Blue Rupee. Wait for the poison to dissipate so I don't just get poisoned again. Look at how much I can do now. Look at all of these things we're getting. And I'll be able to get even more soon. Afflicted with Chaos, which is mildly annoying. Crab Shell Ring for Stardew. Don't remember what that does in the slightest. A lot of like the side items and such in Stardew I do not remember at all. I did play Stardew Valley a decent amount, but I spent most of my time like down in the mine and not really paying attention to a lot of the extra stuff. And I did a solid amount of actual farming, obviously. And much like my real self, I was predominantly away off to myself. I did not worry about the social aspects. As I'm wont to do. over here is where the boss fight I was thinking of is. And we should be able to do it reasonably well here, I think. Hey, we have the Dusk Ring that'll heal us when we kill things. That will be fairly useful. Eek, chicken. Okay, the Vortex does a lot of damage since it's a large stationary target. Yep, you just puked up another blob, that's fine. Ow. There we go. Poof, into feathers you go. And we get fully healed for beating bosses, but I'm going to touch this save point in case I somehow still die past here. Because remember, enemies are randomized, so I could still end up with something awful in any given room that will actually still manage to kill me. Sponge to Astral Wash. Reward point, but more importantly, Muscle Wing for fucking Pokemon. Okay, that's fine. Like, I'm not expecting to give myself anything in particular. I just want to be clear on that. I keep hoping, just because so many of my games are stuck, that something I grab will be for one of my own to try to start unjamming that, but that's the nature of an async. You end up just suffering sometimes. We make it work as best we can. Now, I could warp back, but there's ground to cover back in between, so I'd actually rather walk back and cover that ground. I should have just covered it when I was over there, but I got into flow state mode where I just go flying forward. No, actually, I don't think I can get this item right now. Because I think it's low enough in the water that you can't get down there. Yeah, it's down there. We need to be able to swim to get that, and we can't currently swim. But the one in the next room over should be doable. That is definitely better defense. Was the princess dress better? Definitely better. I was pretty sure it was. Captain's hat would make me do more damage. It's only one defense down, so honestly, yeah, we'll take the captain's cap as well. Anything else in here actually any good? No, that is the best choice. That'll help me clear things out of my way a lot faster, though, is almost doubling my damage. We can wear 2 filigree clasps, so we can raise our luck and hopefully get more drops. $6 coins to Mario Land. So our next port of call is just going to be that, not the next pit we're getting to, but the one after that. Welcome in, Cozy Ghost. How you doing? Getting juggled as I'm looking at chat. No, it's fine. None of these guys are a threat to me at the moment anyway, so it'll be perfectly fine. So far, so good. The Archipelago Siege is not being the kindest, but that's how it goes sometimes. The day itself, though, is absolutely fine. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. Okay, this was just a save point, and I think we can't proceed any further down because of the water again. So I think that's gonna have to wait till we get swimming. So it looks like my gut was mostly right. I didn't have to go down into any of those. Ah, see, there we go. There's the event triggering again. This is just gonna keep happening every time we pass through here. Just constantly getting bullied by chickens. And yeah, there's water down there too, so... Now I still have infernal flames. Nope, not what I wanted. I wanted light wall so I can get this guy so he doesn't laser me. Now, the problem is going to come from the fact that there's then nothing else I can do over here. That's not the actual problem. The problem is I feel like I forgot a vine somewhere. But let's quickly pop to the future and prove that out. Because at the very least we can quickly grab those checks anyway. And hopefully something out of that will be useful to someone. Wash coin for power wash. That technically qualifies as useful. No, because there's the vines up there. It'll be faster to walk there. I was debating warping across, but getting there from up here is quicker. If only marginally so, but you know what? We take what we can get around here. See? The vines are gone. Now we can access this bit over here. Metal wristband might be useful. There's a lot of accessories I do not remember the values of, because I used like 3 accessories in the entire time I played this both times. Huge rupee for Amalia, who I don't think has a wallet still in OOT, so that's just gonna get thrown on the floor. And as usual, if anybody has any questions, because I'm sure a lot of what I'm saying isn't going to make sense, since without any context, do feel free to ask questions. Ordinarily, that would be a very important item there, but in this case, it's just washed grass. Yeah, Time Spinner's good stuff, and there's apparently a sequel coming next year, I do believe. Plays well, and it is honestly a very good-looking game. Hey, we found our Galaxy Stone. I don't remember what Galaxy Stone does, but I'm pretty sure that's useful. Oh, absolutely. As long as I have money available when the sequel comes out. That is a constant issue. This is annoying. Huh. Galaxy Stone, though. What does that do? Okay, it doesn't do anything on its own. Understood. I'm not sure I have anything that can reach this guy. Yeah, because Aura Blast only goes forward as well. Oh, it's a good thing I always carry a Warp Shard with me. Get out of situations exactly like that. Yeah, it'll be faster to go from Verdigray backwards. And then we'll go back to the past. Because for anyone unfamiliar with Time Spinner, the main shtick here is we get sent through time to solve problems for our family and our clan and everything. This time it went kind of wrong because we rushed the job. And that is done using, as the title suggests, the Time Spinner. Time Spinner blows up and we have to go collect all the pieces to get back and try to fix things, is the short version of everything. Which is why we end up with the ability to go back and forth between 2 different time periods here in Lakim. And there we go, I've now collected everything that's over here. Now, things get extra complicated due to the fact that this is connected to an archipelago randomizer, which is why items there are going to everything but myself for the most part. Which that works exactly how the automated message explains, where it just takes everything and scatters it amongst all the games involved here. Which, aside from my 3 games, for those wondering, we've got Luigi's Mansion, we've got a lot of people playing Ocarina of Time, a bunch of people playing Majora's Mask, we've got at least one Hollow Knight, that's a StarCraft 2 right there that just got the Ultralisk upgrade. What else is there? There's a Minish Cap, there's at least one Stardew Valley as you've seen popping up, Power Wash Simulator is involved. That's most of them. Oh yeah, there's also a Cuphead game involved. Mario Land 2. I think that's basically everybody. A lot of us have like 3 games we're playing, myself included. You don't have anything useful, your shop didn't get randomized. Your side quest wanted me to clear out enemies, which I probably am not going to be able to do because enemies have been randomized to different locations. I'm just checking to make sure there's no other side quests I can quickly trigger while I'm here. And then we'll start heading towards the right from here, which should clean up a couple more checks. I think that might be the last blueprint. Oh yeah, because I forgot to mention the Donkey Kong 64 that's involved as well. As you just saw a Diddy Kong blueprint go up for. I think they now have all of their blueprints. I think. Because I remember seeing Chunky's, I remember seeing Donkey Kong's. It might be missing Tiny and Lanky's though. Draco would know better than I would, considering Draco's the one receiving them. There we go, now we're connected back up to the area we were in over here before. Now we can go up and go into the actual castle proper. Though there's gonna be parts of the castle I won't be able to go to, I think. Because I have a setting on that means you have to have one of the royal orbs to go into certain parts of the castle. And the royal orbs are the plasma orb and 2 others that I do not remember off the top of my head, which is why there's uncertainty. So I do not remember if I have any of the other ones. Another item for Power Wash. Oh, I don't have the gates open, do I? So we might not actually be able to go any further to the right here. Oh no, the gates are open. Never mind, we're fine. Honestly, it would have been pretty funny if the gates were closed. Got these jokers up here still. They drop rocks on you to try to prevent you from accessing the castle. I kind of figured they would have been randomized away. Turns out, no. They are static, I guess. Joke's on you, I can build my own siege platform. Adept Shockwave for StarCraft 2. That's another per unit boost. I do not remember what that means specifically. But I'm pretty sure that is another Protoss upgrade. I'm pretty sure Shockwave is an activated ability the Protoss get. My memory of StarCraft at this point is fairly shaky because it's been 5 or 6 years at this point since I last touched any of them. Something like that. And I honestly mostly played custom maps even at that point, so Realistically, my memory of actual StarCraft 2 things would be even worse than that. Oh, nope, they're... Right, castle enemies are strong, so these guys will have been scaled to be reasonably durable. Aside from the bats can't scale that much. We really got a lot of the same enemies in this randomization. And again, this game does have only so many enemies. And some of them do repeat a decent amount to begin with, especially here in the past. For anyone looking for the game to be more difficult, there is a higher difficulty as well as a lower difficulty for those so inclined. We are playing on the normal difficulty currently, because I figured Archipelago was going to make it difficult enough as it is. Didn't really need to be making it harder. And most of Time Spinner is pretty easy in my opinion, but later on it does get a little bit nasty, so I don't know if I would even play it on a higher difficulty at all, personally. Red Rupee for our Argo's OOT. It is nice that it shows all the info at the bottom of the screen for this one. Most Archipelago games are not that generous with their info. Makes it easy for y'all to be able to keep up if you are actually actively looking for that information. Another metal wristband if I need defense. Which, if I was really worried about a boss fight, I probably would put the metal wristbands on, because luck doesn't help in a boss fight at all. Well, outside of the way normally luck would benefit you. I think that's a one-way door or something like that. There's definitely something odd with those metal doors. I just don't remember what it is. Energy tank for Argo's version of Metroid Fusion. Because there's two of us playing Metroid Fusion, myself and Argo Koth, the one who organized this whole thing. Which, if anyone out there is interested in learning more about the Dragon Council, that is the group I am doing this whole archipelago with, in the About section there's an image for that, and it has a link attached to that image that'll take you to the main info page for all of that. It's a good group. Definitely worth looking at. Bonus points if you like dragons as well, because the whole group is dragon VTubers. But I would personally think that them being good people is a good starting selling point. Exactly. Actually, I did a full playthrough of Legend of Dragoon earlier this year. Took a few months to get through, but we got through it. And I grew up with that game as well, so I was already inclined toward playing it. It was just a matter of finding a time where I had the energy to get through that and read out everything. Because when I do RPGs and such, I try to voice act everything, and let me tell you, that really can take it out of your throat sometimes. Yeah, there we go. Now we're... Yep, it is a one-way door. That's what I thought. Yes. Understandable. It is not something I would recommend everybody do, but the entire playthrough is playlisted on the VOD channel, which you'll be able to find in the link tree if you hit !tree. I don't have specific links for all of them because it honestly ends up being a lot. It'll last you a bit. It'll definitely last you a bit. I think that was... God, I don't even know. I want to say it was like 10 or so parts of mostly like 5 or 6 hour sessions. So it'll last you a good bit. Absolutely. Yep. Minish Cap's gone active. Which, if you're big on childhood nostalgia, I probably have you covered for a lot of things, because I've done a lot of PS1 and PS2 era stuff on this channel at this point. And would I be correct in assuming that you also enjoyed Breath of Fire? Because if you did, I'm doing that soon, theoretically. Hell yeah. And on a similar note, we just got done with a playthrough of Dark Cloud right before we start doing the Archipelago here, too. Yep. Did Dark Cloud 1 and just finished that this week. And we'll be doing Dark Cloud 2 either before or after I do Breath of Fire 1. I haven't decided which way I'm going with that yet. So that'll either be by the end of this year or start of next year, we'll be doing that. I can climb up here. I climbed all the way up there just to send an ice trap to Amalia. Oh no. Or Amalia. Amalia has gotten frozen now 16 times in Ocarina of Time, something like that, between all of us ending up unintentionally sending ice traps. Nope, I can't make that jump. I need to go from this side. Sir, I'm trying to climb away from you. That's the way Archipelago goes sometimes, especially when you have a lot of checks and a decent amount of trap settings. A lot of your junk checks will turn into traps. I have my traps for this game set to like 15%, and I've seen a whole one of them come my way so far. But Time Spinner only has like 202 checks total, whereas the way they've got it set, Ocarina of Time has more like 600. So you can see how the odds line up there. Oh, we got the city storeroom stag for Hollow Knight. I know that's actually useful, because that's fast travel around the map. A bunch of checks all popped at once there, so let me actually see what some of that was right quick. Yeah, we sent the stag and satisfaction to Power Wash. Okay, yeah, the rest of those weren't involving me. I didn't think so, but nothing for us either, unfortunately. I'm keeping an eye out for anything that goes to Circle of the Moon, because Circle of the Moon's currently very stuck. So it would be very nice if I got anything that got that game unstuck. But I gotta keep my eye out for basically Tackle and Heavy Ring are the two things I really need in that game. 10 arrows for Terragonus' Ocarina of Time. I wasn't kidding when I said there's a lot of people playing Ocarina of Time in this set. Oh, I did forget one game. There's also somebody playing Civ 6 in this Archipelago, because that apparently works in here. So it's been very funny seeing things like industrial sites and such popping up as checks. And if I'm going too fast for anybody out there, do let me know and I will re-explain something. I just talk fast because I used to live in a place where everybody talked fast all the time. Yep, I did do Parasite Eve as well. I did get a little frustrated with that in places, but it was a good game overall. I'd intended to do Parasite Eve 2, and then I didn't have time during October or to get to that. So maybe next October we'll get to that. Let's go ahead and beat these two demons up. We're a little too strong for this section right now. But behold, they're actually puppets of this evil thing back here. Which, without context, this isn't going to make any sense. So even with context, it's a little bit of a thing. Excellent. That's what I try to do around here. I try to help people discover things they didn't see before and help people relive either things they didn't manage to finish or just things they wanted to see again. Those are like the three things I've built this on. Yep, those sure were puppets. They didn't last very long. Yeah, the whole situation there is those two demon puppets were actually guiding the princess of this area after she had gone through... Well, I'll just shorten it to a bit of trauma, because some bad things happened, which put her on the path of war with their home country, egged on by those demon puppets. And it's a whole thing from there. And yeah, this game has a lot of really interesting designs, and I do highly recommend people pick this game up. This is also not that expensive. Like, I want to say on Steam this game usually is sub 20 to pick up. And I would have to assume it goes on sale a decent amount since it's fairly old at this point. But I don't know that for sure because I've not really looked in recent times. It's actually, when did this game come out? I don't actually remember the release year for this game anymore. 2018. It's been out for 7 years. And yeah, base price is 20. It currently isn't on any sale, but winter sale's coming up soon, so that'll probably end up working out. I'm pretty sure I can't go in this door. Yep, that's the door where I need the royal orbs, either plasma orb or some of the other ones. Nice, nice. What did it end up picking up? Is remaster in 2021? I feel like I might actually know what that is, but it's not clicking in my brain. Ah, yep, that would do it. I know a few people that are really into Corpse Party. So I knew it had gotten a remaster of sorts. There were other things that had gotten remastered in 2021, so I was like, well, could be something else? I don't know. Okay, I think we might have run dry on checks we can do right now. Because I didn't end up getting any of my key cards while we were doing this. We did get a sand bottle. That, I think, is the only thing we've received for this game today. Hope you have a good time with it, because it is a fascinating horror game, even if it is a little much sometimes for most people. Like, it definitely dives real dark sometimes. But if you can handle that, you'll probably have a very good time with it. Fair enough. go ahead and duck that meteor sparrow. Fun fact, those meteor sparrows, that's one of the traps that can be sent. It just spawns 3 of them around you immediately. 'Cause that's fun. Okay. But since we are out of things to do in Time Spinner and I didn't gain anything to do in Fusion or in Circle of the Moon, we're gonna go ahead and hop over to a different game. Something actually new. Actually, let me double check something before I say that. I need to make sure that I'm not forgetting something here. Forgetting something important. Because some of these have embargoes, and I need to make sure that this one isn't in one of the embargoed ones, and I'm about to make a stupid mistake. So hold that thought a second. I may actually be pivoting to a different thing immediately. Now this one's not listing an embargo. Let me just make sure. It must be one of the other ones I'm thinking of, and I don't know which one it was now. Which one of these would have had an embargo? Yeah, that one's embargoed till the 7th. Yeah, this one's got an embargo. Was this the one that was till the 17th? Yeah, you know, the embargo that you don't even list the date for anymore. Yeah, that one. I really need to take notes when these damn embargo pop-ups happen on Lurk It. Sometimes it'll pop one up and then it doesn't give me that information anymore. Double check the email, make sure. Absolutely certain, because it's important to respect your embargoes if there are any. Okay, yeah, I can't cover that one today. That one's embargoed for 3 more days. I thought so. So we will do the other one that I was thinking about, because that one is also perfect for idling on a time like this. I'll just need to do a quick bit of setup, so it'll just take 1 second. Just gonna double check to make sure that this one doesn't have a embargo that I'm forgetting about. Nope, no embargo date listed. Okay, we're good. So just enjoy the music for a second here while I get things set up, as it'll just take a quick moment here. This is, like I said, though, exactly why you double-check everything. Because you would not want to get caught out on an embargo, because that'll get you in a lot of trouble. And it's just bad policy to not follow through on one of those anyway. Did I even install this one yet? When is it? Oh. Steam, why are you like this? Okay, I did install it. I thought so. Just gonna take away audio for a second in case this starts off loud. And we will go ahead and change things up model-wise since we're not playing Time Spinner anymore. There we go. We'll go do science for a little while. Yeah, this started very loud. I'm glad I prepared. All that looks fine. And cut that audio down just a little bit more in case there's anything that comes out as a surprise. Go ahead and change what it's showing.